Whoa, 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 welcome back to Casual Opinions, where we got cool sound effects on our voice now.
Cool.
Um, cool. This is a pot, and this is God, ruining my flow with Bailey's not even here, and he's already
Yes,
messing
he
me up.
is.
No, he's not.
He's
Don't,
right here. Hey, Bailey, what's
don't,
up? Cool.
don't lie to the fans. You know, half of them are just here for Bailey anyway.
And pretty
So,
much, yeah.
um, well, this is the Casual Opinions podcast where we talk about nerdy stuff and things that trigger us, and yeah, those are pretty much the two things that we talk about on here.
All
I
of
think
the things in
general.
between.
Yeah. On this one in particular, I, Zach Kellner, am joined by my brother, Caleb Kellner.
Yeah.
Again, we are sans Bailey today. No Bailey today. I'm not sure if he was packing or whatever. The last thing that I saw him put on Twitter was something about the KKK. So that's a little concerning. But
Little bit.
We'll let him figure that out, and maybe he'll be back next week. But for today, we're going to be talking about some nerdy stuff, and one thing that triggers nerdy folks and fandoms is when they don't get as much of their shit as they want. So today, our prompt that Caleb and I are going to talk through today is basically 10 things, right? Call it 10 games, movies,
Anything.
and or TV shows, right? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much
10
anything.
10 anythings that we think should have and or deserve a remake, a reboot, a remaster, or a sequel or something. On some of my picks, I'm just going to say just anything, please. Like, I don't care if it's a sequel.
Yeah, I specify on a
know.
few of them, but for the most part,
Yeah. So I don't have mine in any particular order.
Same.
As far as a hierarchy goes, but I do have a list that I'm just going to kind of. I'll start with my. You want to go back and forth on these?
we could like go back and forth, just spend a few
Yeah,
seconds to talk about them.
Yeah, I say let's go back and forth, and if we have any overlap, which I suspect we probably might,
Just go ahead and get it out of the way.
Since yeah,
Yeah, 100% that works.
I do have two. I have a couple that I put down as ones that deserve a sequel, but I think are already getting one.
Yeah, kind of similar to me, maybe.
So like on mine, I put down Jedi Fallen Order as like this is like my extras that didn't make my list.
Right.
Jedi Fallen Order, because when I was making this list, they hadn't officially announced the second game. Which
Had they not?
They just did.
I mean, I know they just. Yeah, I guess they just. I really just
They
thought it
did.
was already concrete before this, but I guess not.
Yeah. I had also put down Real Steel, but in the process of looking up Real Steel, I found out that it's supposed to be getting a Disney Plus show. And then I also put down a sequel to Star Wars Rebels, but I feel like they're going to get that. With
Everybody's getting their show.
Right, yeah, they're building towards it. So those are just a couple of not actuals on my list. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I can go first if you'd like.
All right, let's hear your first one here.
All right, yeah, my first one is a movie. I don't think I have. Do I? This might be my only movie on the list from what I can tell.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my only movie on the list. Anyways, you've seen this movie. I don't know if you want a sequel. I've always wanted a sequel, and I don't know if one was ever in the works or anything like that for sure. But I was a really big fan of the movie Hancock with Will Smith.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's on my list too.
Is it really?
That's on my list also, yeah.
What are the odds of that? That's
Certainly.
hilarious. No way.
Swearsies, man.
I put that on, like, I know Zach likes this movie, but, like, surely he won't think to put this on his list.
Well, I was even making, like, I was looking at my list, and I was like, which one will Caleb put on, like, what, I was basically making guesses of what overlaps you might have, and I did not put Hancock on there for you either.
That's
on
hilarious.
my guess column there. But yeah, Hancock.
Hancock, what a great movie.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I really remember liking it.
Oh, yeah. Drunk superhero.
I thought I thought it was cool that, like, he's a superhero, and then the girl in there is also a superhero.
Yeah, it's his wife.
Yeah, and they're like soul linked or whatever. They're inextricably linked, but also at the same time they get weaker when they get closer to each
Right.
other.
Yeah. The longer they're around each
Yeah.
other, the weaker their powers get.
So I thought that was really interesting.
It
And
was
I don't
interesting.
honestly remember how it ends, but
Yeah,
I could do
blanking
with
on it
more.
too.
I could do with more for
I could do
sure.
with more, and they. I wouldn't say that they. Again, I don't remember how it ended. I wouldn't say that they directly set it up for a sequel, but I mean, it could happen. And I'm pretty sure, like, if they would even go that direction, but like the origins, like where did they come from? Are there more of
Right,
them? You
right.
know, like I would love to see any of that. And
Yeah, that's
it's got Will Smith, Jason Bateman, and what's the girl?
was it Charlize Theron?
Charlize
Is that who
Theron.
it
That's
was?
what it was.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, awesome. Look at that. Our
Bad guy.
Hancock, bad guys. Was that Brick?
I was Brick from the middle. Yeah.
the middle.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know why I remember that.
Eh.
I went and saw it. I think I went and saw Hancock like for my birthday when it came out,
That sounds like that's right.
something like that. That, and for one, out of the gate there, Hancock. I'll do one then myself. I guess this would be my second one then, since we've already checked Hancock off the list there.
Right.
I'm gonna go video game first here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go with Time Splitters.
Yep. Yes, sir. I have that as well.
All right, I figured you would. That's
Yeah,
one that I
that was one of
figured
the
you
ones
would
I
have.
figured you might as well.
Time Splitters. There was 3 games. Yes,
Yes.
1, 2, and Future Perfect. Right.
I never played one. Never had it.
I don't think I did either. But Time Splitters is just like a sequel would be awesome, but
Mhm.
also I think it would be. I would even freak out if they did like. I imagine. Let's do games 1 through 3 remastered all on one disc, kind of like an Uncharted collection.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
Like I would love to have a sequel, but even just remastering those and putting
Yeah.
them like on the PlayStation 5 or something would be awesome.
Yeah, I actually did. That was one of the ones I did kind of sort of semi-specify was Time Splitters. I did specify more so as a remake. That would be what I prefer. But I mean, I would take a remaster, like a trilogy, like you were saying as well. I want more, straight up. That is
one of
such a bizarre game. It's so unique and weird, and I want more.
That's really the only way to put it. Like it is just
Time traveling madness.
it's just the goofiest thing.
Mhm.
Like yeah, you go through all different eras. I'm not even sure if I remember why. Right? There's some bad guys. who are trying to-
The time shards,
Mhm.
and there's like these weird alien things I remember that you're chasing around.
You're defending the timeline, right?
Mhm.
And on top of having an interesting storyline, it's got just the goofiest characters, and then it has all this fun side content in it. There,
Uh-huh.
you know, the couch co-op multiplayer,
So
capture
good.
the bag is some of the best stuff out there.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
There's like the weird bonus missions. Like, isn't there one where you have to play? And something again, this kind of shows the characters. You play as like a duck, and they just throw you in. Like, there's one where you have to fight all these like gingerbread men that are like, trying to murder you, and there's
Oh yeah, I mean there's like character. I mean you got like Big Tony, you got the duck, you got monkeys, aliens. I mean the cast is
Jimmy.
limitless.
You remember Jimmy Needles?
Jimmy Needles. I can't picture what he looks like, but I recognize
Oh.
the name Jimmy Needles.
Little
Yeah.
mobster guy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you got gangsters, you got cowboys, you've got Mayans, you've got Buzz Lightyear like people from
Uh-huh.
the future.
Gosh, it is such a wild game. I haven't played that in so long.
It's a roller coaster, and I thought there was talks at least of a 4. Like I think the company's
back,
like
or
yes,
got bought
and I
out.
think they posted a picture of like the monkey.
The monkey,
in
yeah.
it, and they were like, hey, you know, it could maybe.
Right, that was a while ago too.
Yeah, this here, I just pulled up an article. It says Time Splitters returns with a new game from the original developers, but that was posted May 2021.
Well, that
Sounds
wasn't
like
that
maybe
long ago.
I guess so. It sounds like maybe they are like in very
Early stages.
early production. But here it also says official word first emerged about Time Splitters 4 in 2007. So we've been sitting on that for a
They
while.
have, but
So
damn.
look at it. Look at us,
Back to back.
back matches there.
That's hilarious.
You think we can make it 3 in a row? What do you got next?
Ooh, let's see. What might you have on here that? All right, this is a stretch, but I'll see if we can hit. I'll see if we can hit it.
All right.
There's another video game. Do you have another video game?
I think my list was mostly video games.
Kind of same. Okay. Well, the next one I've got on the list, you may or may not put it, but I know we both played it a little bit at least. Simpsons Hit and Run.
I do not have Simpsons.
No Simpsons Hit and Run. Dang. That's okay. We got 2 though. But yeah, Simpsons Hit and Run. That was kind of like Grand Theft Auto Simpsons though. I mean, you could just go around, you could get all these different cars, you were doing missions for all the different Simpson people around the city and everything. It was just, I don't, kind of like pretty much probably most of the things on the list, I don't remember everything about the game, but I just remember hours. I mean, we would go upstairs into the game room and just play this game on end forever. It was so fun. You could play as all the different Simpson characters, all the different vehicles. It was a blast. And I would love probably anything, remaster, remake, probably not I don't see a sequel, but either a remaster or remake I think could happen out of that.
Yeah, I know that's a really popular game.
Very popular.
And I kind of been looking around on I was doing a little research of, what are some games that should have got, little backgrounds, and the Simpsons Hit and Run popped up on a lot of people's lists. So.
I could see that, yeah.
Couldn't you get out of the car and just fight people too?
Oh yeah. Like I said, it was Grand Theft Auto, but Simpsons. It was fun. You could do a lot.
That is a good one. Simpsons Hit and Run.
Simpsons Hit and Run.
So we did not hit 3 in a row there.
It's still possible to. We might have a few. I just maybe picked the wrong pick.
So. I have a movie on here that I thought you would have put on yours.
Hancock was my only one, I think.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just get my movie out of the way here then, because I think you might kick yourself in the pants.
I probably will. I'm ready for it. I'm
not having this one. This movie reminds me of some shitty pepperoni pizza.
Oh!
And
I already know where you're going.
Jumper.
Yeah.
Christians.
And I actually did watch this not super, super long ago, I think. And did they kind of set it up for a sequel?
I feel like they did.
I feel like they did, and it just didn't happen for, I guess, obvious reasons.
I will admit I have not watched it in a long time, but I did a little reading to refresh myself on it. But I do think they set it up at the end, because I think...
something with his mom.
I mean, yeah, his mom... I think his mom was one of the people that are supposed to hunt jumpers.
Right, and she hid him. That was the whole reason why, yeah.
Right. And she basically let him live, and he basically, I think he ends up running off with his girlfriend, to get away from these people here.
Yeah.
I think they were called, I'm looking it up now, I think they're called paladins, right? And the paladins hunt the jumpers, and I don't know, some kind of reboot, some kind of continuation. I think maybe I would almost prefer a sequel there. Any more Hayden Christensen I can get, I'll take it, right?
Man's coming back.
He's coming back in a big way, so maybe there's a little drum up a little momentum there. I just feel like it was something that has a lot of unexplored lore there. There's, I don't know. I think it's also based off a novel, but I feel like it's something that has so much more to it. Where do the jumper powers come from?
Right.
Why do these people gotta hunt the jumpers?
There's a lot that they could keep going with, for sure.
Yeah, and maybe some of these things get answered in the movie, and it's just been so long that I don't remember them. But I feel like there's a lot there to work with. So, Jumper, I feel.
Wow,
feel confident in my pick right now.
That brings me back. Yeah, you said shitty pepperoni pizza, and while
it was good,
it was good. It was not.
It was
together.
Constructed.
Yeah. It was just build it in your mouth, kind of like Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah! Wow, that was. I don't know what our parents just went out on date night or whatever and just left us alone with Jumper and a pepperoni pizza kit.
And make your own pizza, kids.
Chef Boyardee, I'm pretty sure was the kit, something like that.
Sure. Just fell apart.
Oh dang! Yeah, that's a good pick. I did not think of that.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Long live Hayden Christensen.
Long live our man. One of our mini men. We love men.
Of course. Yes. On this
um,
podcast.
right, right. uh, on my list, my next, I guess, it will be the only TV show on my list. I'll go ahead and get that out of the way. Something I love so much. I've seen it 1,000 times, probably. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know. I mean, it could, okay, what? I'll just go ahead and say it. The following. Dun dun.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, so, like, it's something that could have kept going. I think it definitely ended at the right time. You know, spoiler alert, you ended up killing off Joe, finally. So, obviously, he wouldn't be in it anymore, but something. I don't know how, I don't know what, but I was so invested in that dang freaking show. And I think technically speaking, they planned on doing another season. It just got the axe, unfortunately. Right. But I love me some Kevin Bacon. That was such a oh my god! Shout out to the following. It was so good.
It was really good, and I think it got. I don't know. I feel like it got better as it went along.
Season 2 is my favorite.
Like season 1 is obviously, Joe Carroll is the principal guy there, and and he's great, and I felt like I liked it getting more and more as it went along with sort of like the there was almost like a cult of Joe.
Yeah, that was season 2 where they get all culty.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and you've seen it more than I have. Doesn't it end, and it's kind of implied like Kevin Bacon's character is like just going to go hunt serial killers overseas, like off the books, basically?
Something like, I don't know about overseas necessarily, but he does kind of, he's chasing that black guy, the other serial killer of season 3 or whatever, and that's one of the coolest scenes is when he shoots that guy in the head, and you think it's over, and then the dude just gets back up with a bolt in his head and just tackles Kevin Bacon off of the bridge, and then Kevin Bacon's presumed dead. And I think part of the reason why he doesn't come back is because he's got like a new girlfriend that he wants to obviously keep out of danger. But I think they did set it up like he's gonna kill people. Right.
He is no longer cop hunting serial killers. He is now a serial killer.
Yeah, Dexter,
kinda
if
like
you will.
Kind of like Dexter. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I would have loved to see a season of that for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
But at what point though can you keep like the following? Can you keep calling it that? Because like Joe's gone, who's following who? But
right. Well, maybe he's hunting some other serial killer.
That's true. That's true. Thing. And I would have loved to see it.
Maybe one of the reasons they axed it was because it was, if they were going to do something like that, it was maybe like a little too gritty for like network TV. It was
a dark, violent show. It could be for sure. Like I said, they did not shy away from showing that dude with a bullet in the head, just running at Kevin Bacon. Like, okay.
Certainly possible there.
But yeah, the following.
Okay, well, I will get my one TV show that I have on my list out of the way then.
Shell, yeah.
I think I've got one more movie, and then I think the rest is games for me.
Okay.
And this is the most recent one on my list for sure, because it actually technically just got canceled last year.
Is that Owl House?
No. It is in a similar vein. It's called Infinity Train.
I feel like I've maybe heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
It's another animated show that started out on Cartoon Network. It got picked up by HBO Max for its last, I think its last 2 seasons. But it was a really interesting show. It was an anthology series, so every season had a new cast of characters. And really, it was just kind of this show about these people who mysteriously get abducted and put on this infinity train, where every car on the train has some like unique challenge or puzzle or environment or something. And really, it was a show about people like working through their problems. Like in the first season, it's about a girl whose parents are going through a divorce, and she kind of has to come to terms with that through these challenges on the train here. And as it went, it kind of one of the reasons it got canceled is because it got increasingly more adult. It got increasingly more grown up, and that's why it left Cartoon Network in the first place, was because they're like, yeah, this is getting to be a little too, not kid friendly. It's getting a little
Right.
intense here, because season 3 is seriously, it's depressing. Like, it is. So there's some heavy stuff in the third season there. So Cartoon Network got rid of it. HBO Max did a couple seasons, and I don't know why HBO Max didn't pick it up for more. I know the creator had plans to do like 8 seasons, but it only ever ended up getting 4. So I was kind of sad to see that one go. The fact that there is and was ideas for a lot more than that makes me extra kind of bummed out on that one. So that's my most recent one. Maybe there's a chance, but even like when I've read interviews from the creator, he's sounding like it's probably not going to happen. So,
Well, dang.
yeah, but it's worth a watch. They're very short episodes too. Like each season is about 10 episodes, 10, 12 episodes, something like that. And it's one of those things where each episode is only about 10 or 15 minutes. So you can do an entire season in like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh, wow. What kind of like animation style is it? Is it like 2D, 3D?
2D.
2D?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Worth your time. But that's my one TV show on the list. So, and I think that was my 4th or 5th one.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what number we're
I'm
on.
not either. Oh,
Let's see.
You keep going then.
Time Splitters, Hancock, Simpsons, the following. So yeah, that was your 5th, I think.
Okay.
And I think this will be my 5th coming up. So yeah, my 5th, I guess. So I'm a big Elder Scrolls fan. I love Skyrim, even though I've played it 1,000 times and kind of want to die every time I turn it on. But obviously there's a pretty likely chance the next Elder Scrolls game will be Xbox exclusive, which means I won't be getting it. But in a similar vein, I've never really been too huge into Oblivion because I didn't play Oblivion until after Skyrim. But I've definitely played through it a little bit here and there, so I know a little bit about it. But I would like, and I know a lot of people out there would like, an Oblivion remake because a lot of people say it's probably better than Skyrim. So if you could like Skyrimitize Oblivion and like make it fresh, remaster, remake, whatever, I would love that. I would love to play that game because its system and leveling system and combat, it's all just slightly different from Skyrim, and I like the way Skyrim feels. I'm familiar with it. It feels good. And I question putting this on my list because there is a fan project called Skyblivion, and it's all fan modded, and they're essentially recreating Skyrim, or they're recreating Oblivion inside of Skyrim to play it that way. But I mean, that's been in development for years. It's not out yet. You can't play it. There's no ETA on when it's going to come out. So I went ahead and put this on my list because I freaking want it. I want it so bad. Like I hate to say it, I'm terribly bored with Skyrim. Like I said, I put that game in. I maybe play for like 30 minutes, maybe a day, and then I'm done. Like I want a fresh experience, and that would be one way I could get it. So, Oblivion remake or remaster of some kind. So, hell yeah.
I think that would be cool too. And I'm kind of in the same boat. Last time I played Skyrim was when they put it on the Switch, when it came over to the Switch.
Yeah.
So I got it for the Switch. And yeah, I played it for a couple days, and then that was kind of, it's kind of done. So
yeah, and like PS4 has fairly recently implemented mods, which helps liven the experience a little bit for sure. But even then, you're still essentially just playing Skyrim, and I'm like, I need more. I don't know. I just need a little bit more, but fun stuff. So yeah, hopefully an Oblivion remake, or maybe this Skyblivion comes out pretty soon. I don't know, but yeah.
Solid choice.
Thank you.
I'll go save my games for last. I'll do my last movie then, and then just ride out on games here to finish it. I picked, and I was just sitting here thinking about the topic, and I just like looked over at my shelf with all my DVDs on it. I saw one, I was like, oh shit, that would be a good one. I feel like you've probably seen it, but it is the Pagemaster.
Oh my god! Yes, I do. Dude, that's hilarious that you said that because probably like 2, maybe 3 months ago, I randomly got the memory of Pagemaster in my head, and I could not figure out what it was for the longest goddamn time. And then, like, I was scrolling through iFunny, and somebody just randomly posted the cover art for Pagemaster, and, like, so much nostalgia came flowing back into me, and I instantly bought it on Blu-ray and DVD, and I watched that, like, maybe a month ago. I love that movie.
That movie is great.
It is.
Tim and I both love it. Like, that's one that I watch a lot.
I had forgotten about it for so long, dude.
It's so good. And
it is.
At this point, like, it came out in, like, the 1990s
or something like that,
right? The Macaulay Culkin era.
Right, yeah.
But I feel like you could do, here in the 2020s, you know, almost probably, you know, coming up on 30 years later almost, you could do, like, a modern reboot, right? Because basically the gist of it is about the adventures of reading, right? It's basically, it's a pro
and overcoming your fears,
right? Yeah, and you could do probably some modern technology angle to that, right? Where you know, No, I'm not saying, like, I still want the books,
right? Yeah, that needs to be the focus. Yeah, it's the Pagemaster.
Yeah, like modernized, like, you know, this. I don't write movies, but, like, it's a kid who's got his face
gets sucked into a tablet.
Yeah, he's got his face in his phone or his tablet all day, and, you know, the dusty old librarian gives him a book or something, you know. But I don't know. Somebody smarter than me could come up with a modernized version of Pagemaster, because that movie slaps.
It slaps. Yeah, like, one of the only things I could ever remember about it was, like, pretty much in the beginning where, like, the paint on the ceiling starts dripping down. And he, like, that when he's getting transported to the cartoon world, like, I just remember all of that very distinctively, and I just, that is such an amazing movie. That's so funny.
I remember the horror book where there's, like, the Dr. Jekyll Mr.
Hyde
thing.
That dude's Spock, right?
That was Adventure.
Oh, was that Adventure?
No.
The horror was the guy who voiced Spock, right?
I think so.
Like, not the literal, the Jekyll Hyde guy was voiced by Spock.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, what's the guy's name? Leonard Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy.
There we go. Yeah.
But the cast freaking bumps too. Like, Macaulay Culkin, Christopher Lloyd, Goldberg, Patrick Stewart. You know. Like,
yeah, Patrick Stewart. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, such a good movie.
That is a very good movie, and I know he's not quite the right age, but, like, if you wanted to, you could have Macaulay Culkin be the librarian.
You could.
Full circle.
Yeah.
The Pagemaster cinematic universe. Yeah, that's a good one. That's crazy. I forgot about that. It's so funny that you put that on your list, because I had just gotten through remembering that, like, a month ago.
Boom.
Good pick.
Thank you.
You said that was your last movie?
I think that was my last movie.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I had 3 movies in there, so.
Okay. Well, next up for me, this kind of doesn't count, but I'm still putting it on my list. So it has gotten a remake, technically speaking, but I am specifying on this one, I want a remaster instead of a remake, and that game is Goldeneye for the Nintendo 64. So it did get a kind of remake with Daniel Craig instead of Pierce Brosnan for, like, the Wii and I think PS3 and Xbox even. I think it was, like, all the consoles at the time. And great game for sure. I had it on the Wii. Very fun game. And it held up. I mean, it was essentially the exact same game, better graphics, and you were Daniel Craig. So not much else to ask for, but, like, I would just love to play that game again, maybe on the Switch or even maybe a PlayStation 5, but as Pierce Brosnan. I have nothing against Daniel Craig, but I want to still be the Pierce Brosnan model, you know, going through GoldenEye again, remastered of some kind. Just, I want to play that game again. Like, I have it for the 64 and I can play it whenever I want, but, like, that was, like, I feel a lot of people would agree with me when I say this. Like, that was, like, that was the multiplayer game. Like, everybody talks about GoldenEye. Everybody talks about GoldenEye. Sure. And yeah, I don't know, like paintball mode. You remember doing paintball mode in there? every bolt was just paintballs. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. So a remaster probably, because like I said, I have nothing against Daniel Craig, but, like, Pierce Brosnan's my favorite.
You're a Brosnan fanboy.
Yeah. I'm a Brosnan fanboy, so yeah, I would love to get my hands on something like that again. And, like, it is on the Wii, but I don't even know where my Wii is. But like, I'm just gonna play the original. If I'm gonna play any of them, I'm gonna play the original. You know.
Right. Yeah.
But I would like to be able to play a new version if possible. So, yeah, Goldeneye, good one.
Very good choice.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll continue the video game trend here with one that I had tagged as one that I think you would have put on yours.
All right, let's go.
And that is another great shooting game, Freedom Fighters.
Ooh, no, but that is a good one. Dang, I blanked.
Yeah, Freedom Fighters that we had for the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
I think it deserves a sequel, but I would
definitely set up for a sequel.
With a remaster too, right? Yeah, it sets it up for a sequel. You know, but I mean, even just getting it on a more modern console, I think would be fun because it had a fun story. But like better than the story was the freaking multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the multiplayer was crazy.
It was
doing like the capture the base. Like we just did, or the bunkers or whatever. We just did hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, that could last.
That game.
Wasn't the guy's main name Chris?
I think it was Chris.
Yeah.
And it was really intuitive for the time because you could control your squad, like even in single player. Like that was kind of one of the cool things was you could set some guys up on the bunker. You could have some guys kind of scout ahead and do, so it was almost kind of like, even in the single player, it was almost kind of co-op, right? You're directing the traffic of your own guys and recruiting people as you go.
That could be a concept for an actual, co-op mode, for like a sequel or remaster. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. I definitely think it needs something because, like we said, it does set it up for a sequel. And it kind of had, what were those? Is it the Homefront games? Was that
Homefront, yeah, those are fun.
The Homefront were like similar-ish,
but they were Korea, right? Was it Korea in Homefront?
I think so.
Maybe.
Similar, but similar idea, similar concept.
But Freedom Fighters was better.
Yeah,
and third person too. That was a big thing. Third person.
Yeah, I liked the third person.
I do too.
Freedom Fighters for the GameCube. There was my
pick. Yeah, I forgot about that. That is such a good one. Yeah, give me something for sure. So, next up on my list, this could possibly be on your list. I don't know if it would be for sure or not, but it's possible. None other than for the Nintendo 64, Jet Force Gemini. Dum dum. Yeah, you remember that game?
Not online.
Ants in Your Pants.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude, Jet Force. Yeah, Jet Force Gemini. I think I only ever played it when, is it Christopher, right?
Shout out Chris again.
Shout out Chris again. Yeah, the second time I think. Yeah, when he would come over or let us borrow it. So like, I don't really know the story or plot to it. I just remember having so much fun with that. And like, is it like Luna maybe, and like the dog, and then whoever your main character.
I love the dog.
Yeah, the dog. Yeah.
The dog.
Yeah.
The guns on his back.
Yeah, and you were fighting like the alien ants, I think, is what they were.
Uh-huh.
And God, yeah, just some sort of remake, remaster, sequel. I'm not picky. That game needs to come back. Like, that is such an iconic game.
That's another one where the multiplayer is just freaking awesome too.
Something about the old school 64 GameCube multiplayers, they're just unrivaled. You could play hours on end. Shit was legendary. So good. Yeah, Jet Force Gemini. I don't own that, I don't think. That is definitely something I might have to get my hands on here before too long, just because, so good. Yeah, Jet Force Gemini. I wish I could say more about it, but I genuinely don't remember much about that game. I remember playing it and having so much fun with it, and I never owned it. We never owned it, so like my knowledge is limited. So, but yeah, Jet Force Gemini.
While we were talking, I was looking to see if there was anything new, any ideas of a sequel or whatever, and it sounds like no, definitely not.
Damn.
I guess the people who made it made another game called Tamarin, but it looks nothing like Jet Force Gemini. But yeah, that would nuts. That would be good.
That would be good. Yes, Jet Force Gemini, so iconic. Golden Age gaming right there.
For sure. Yeah. I'm gonna go with I'll go with another Nintendo 64 game. Continue the trend here.
Okay.
Um, Not a shooter, not really. You do throw things. I'm gonna do Paperboy for the Nintendo 64.
Yeah, Paperboy. That was a fun
Yeah,
one. That was a weird one. So weird, but
it gets real weird.
like, aren't you like
In the
fighting Frankenstein at one point?
and then aliens
Is it aliens too? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Aren't there
Frankenstein,
like brains?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
That was a weird game.
Oh, so weird.
Yeah, it starts off like you're a paperboy in the neighborhood, and then as you progress, all of a sudden you're delivering paper at Frankenstein's castle while getting chased by aliens. It's like, what?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that
it's
was it. Yeah, and you could play as a boy or girl. I remember that.
uh,
I remember exactly what they look like. That's
very
crazy.
inclusive for the time there.
Honestly,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I think a total remaster would be cool.
Paperboy. Wow.
I went back and I was like, okay, did they do anything? It's been a long time, and from what I could find, they like did like a re-release on Xbox 360, but even that was like 15 years ago that they did
Oh
the
wow.
re-release.
On
That was like back
Xbox
in
of all
2000.
things.
Yeah, weird, right?
That's weird.
So I don't know, just clean up the very polygony looking.
Oh wow,
graphics,
very
you know. Yeah,
polygony. Yeah,
and
they were very.
I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was
Oh
weird as
yeah.
hell, but it was a lot of fun. So
And I mean, honestly,
um,
as polygony as they were, I didn't question it. I'm like, this is just what games are, you know?
back then, yeah. So
Dang, yeah, that's a
golden
good
age of
one.
gaming, right?
Golden age of gaming, yeah. Wow, that was some fun stuff. That was some fun stuff. I don't even know. There are so many of my 64 games. I don't even know what happened to. That would be one. Rush. You remember Rush?
Oh, Rush made my maybe list.
Oh, did it really? I didn't even think about Rush
Uh-huh.
until just now.
Yeah.
Rush and Rush 2 were good. And then there was a third Rush that I believe, if you remember, the Palace actually had the arcade game for it for a while.
Yeah, it's like 2047.
Yeah, and I can't remember off the top of my head if that was actually for the 64 or maybe it didn't make the cut for 64, but like I always wanted it. But yeah, Rush was a good game too. But
Oh yeah.
hell yeah! All right. So you
Nostalgia ride.
no kidding, nostalgia riding. We're in for some more. Probably. Not quite in that, but a little bit. And I think we didn't own any for the 64, but for the GameCube, I'm wanting another F-Zero game. We haven't had an F-Zero game, I think, since either the GameCube or Game Boy Advance, kind of in that same era at least. But obviously it's not going to happen now because if you didn't know, they fairly recently announced that they are working on a new Mario Kart game. So
Yeah.
not going to be F-Zero, but they said there's going to be a twist, so I'm hoping possibly we could see Captain Falcon and F-Zero-esque elements maybe in the game, because it sounds like maybe they might be almost Smash Broing Mario Kart.
Right.
Could
right.
be happening, so that could be really cool. But F-Zero, I mean, I'm sure you remember that game a little bit. The customization was great. You could build your own vehicles. You had all the different characters and the Grand Prix that you would do. I'm not like a car guy, but like I love racing games. Mario Kart, F-Zero, even some of the NASCAR games. I remember borrowing NASCAR from your friend Dylan, playing those games.
Yeah,
It was fun.
backwards.
Yeah, drive backwards. Yeah. So I'm a big racing game guy, and F-Zero's got like the futuristic elements to it, and yeah, great game. I remember you could play as James McCloud, like a human version of Fox's dad. That was cool.
Yeah. That's one where I'm like, I'm baffled they haven't made more F-Zero games.
I know.
Because Captain Falcon, is mostly known for Smash Brothers, but like he has been a very popular character for a long time, right? He's in the original Smash. He's been in every Smash game. It's like
He's not gone away. He just hasn't gotten his own game.
he's part of Caleb's Tatooine crime family. I mean, like,
Yeah, he is. Show me your
that's-
food.
I don't know how he hasn't gotten another game. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, F-Zero. Yeah, I think the only F-Zero game I played was F-Zero GX for the GameCube, but
I think same here. Yeah.
yeah, that was customized. I mean, you could the vehicles. It was good customization for the GameCube. It really was. A lot of choices. But yeah. What would be
Okay,
next
well,
on
I'm
your
gonna do-
list?
I'm gonna do it's a weird pool, and I don't know if you've played it. I hope you have.
Okay.
And it's just like it's one that like haunts my memories sometimes.
Right.
And the name maybe won't be familiar out of the gate, but like let me like explain it. Do you perhaps remember playing Nanostore?
Yeah, for the PC.
Yeah, at school.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember playing that. You could press like one of the F buttons to just instantly beat the game or whatever.
Yeah, it's so Nanostore was a game that was like made like just for the PC, and we would like play it in the
Computer lab
elementary computer lab
all the
and
time.
it's a game where you and this is so weird to me, and I remember loving it as like an 8-year-old, right? But you play as a time traveling velociraptor with like a jetpack and like a
gun
laser
arm
gun on your hand.
Yeah, it's and yeah, what you're going around collecting dinosaur eggs. That's the only thing I remember.
Right. Yeah, you're like sent back in time to collect these dinosaur eggs, but you're also like shooting dinosaurs with this fucking gun that you've got on your hand.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not even gonna pretend to try and follow what story is there. I don't know it. That was so long ago. But yeah, that was an iconic game.
It was like the coolest thing that you could do in elementary school, and it's just such a weird concept of a game, and I don't. It's one that I'm like, it'll never happen. It'll never
I don't know.
another.
I see that is a game I see from time to time pop up that people are talking about. Anybody remember this game? Like things kind of like that, and I'm like, I do remember that game. Like
maybe it was just in every elementary school.
That's what I'm wondering, and I remember I have so many distinct memories of like whatever we were doing in the computer lab that day. Everybody just trying to finish as fast as possible so they could play as much of Nanostore as they could.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a weird game. I do remember that though.
I think you were even like set on a timer in the game, like you had to beat it within like 30 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, there was some kind of timer, I remember.
So,
but yeah, you could like press one of the F buttons, I think, and it would like instantly beat the game for you. I remember people be like, I beat the game. I'm like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, shut up, loser. Yeah.
Nanostore, okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, let's see here. So, all right. I think do we have 2 more left?
Yep, 2 more each.
Okay. All right, well, next up on my list. You've definitely played this game, and you may or may not agree with me on this. I would love a sequel. I'll say specifically sequel, because it hasn't been that long. But a sequel to PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
Oh, shit. Why did I not put that on my list?
Yep, Yeah, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. We've talked about it maybe a little bit on here. Maybe. But Smash Bros. Clone, in my opinion, the best Smash Bros. Clone. I couldn't tell you exactly why. It didn't take off. It didn't take off. Like, it was well received. It just didn't take off.
Right.
And I couldn't tell you why. I liked the mechanic that it was, rather than just KOing someone, you had to kill them with like your special move, that little bar that you had like 3, each character had 3 levels, 3 different moves they could use. And yeah, I'm sure you remember Spike and, and everything on there.
Yes, Spike.
Let's clean this place up. Yeah, such a great game. I mean, yeah, if you're a fan of Smash Bros-esque games, that is up there for sure. All-star cast of PlayStation characters.
Yeah.
It had DLC too and everything, and god damn it. And since PlayStation isn't great with the backwards compatibility, I can't play it. I don't have a PS3 anymore. The only way I could play it is on my Vita, so I have the handheld version of it, but like that's just it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, some either make it backwards compatible or port it or remake, but like a sequel. I want a sequel. I want more characters, because I mean Smash Bros is I'm not saying it's at the end of its life, but like they're not doing anything more with it anymore right now. So like now's your chance to jump in and make another one.
And Multiverses is coming out. So
Multiverses, yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
PlayStation has such a good catalog of characters to choose from.
Well, what happened with this Activision deal? Did they lose out on some stuff? Like they lost out on like Crash and Spyro now.
I think so. Yeah.
So like, and those weren't even in the game to begin with, and now it's like if you make a sequel, it's probably not gonna be.
Yeah.
If they're Xbox, that's so weird to think that they're Xbox now.
It is a little weird. It's a little funky feeling. Yeah.
But yeah, PlayStation All Stars definitely deserves a little bit more.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Did you ever play the? It was basically it's like the free download, the little Astro bot thing for on the PlayStation 5.
Oh, like the Astro World? Was that what it is?
Yeah, yeah, it's free on like every PlayStation
I
5.
have not done it, no.
It's like I think it's Astro's Playroom. I think is what it's
Yeah,
called.
Astro Playroom.
It's cute, and it doesn't. It's not like PlayStation All Stars in any gameplay way, but almost kind of like in a nostalgic PlayStation history way.
Mm.
You know, as you go through the playroom, there's all sorts of fun little Easter eggs that you can find.
Is the
and you
Polygon boss in there, though?
he is not, but you do end up fighting like another like retro PlayStation boss.
Oh, really? That's
as
cool.
like the final boss level. So,
That's something I loved about All Stars is that they took that reject mascot that nobody liked and made him the villain. I'm like, that's
yeah,
innovative. That's perfect. I love that. That's cool. Great
that's a
idea.
good one.
Great idea.
My second to last pick here is one that I feel like we've been wanting a sequel to for a long, long time. And again, I want specifically to say sequel on this one. And the sequel that I would want would be Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4.
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, my God. That is... that's my favorite Dragon Ball Z game, hands down.
Me too. As much as I liked the Xenoverse games, and as much as I liked Fighter Z when that came out, this is the one, dude.
This is the one. The one.
The roster alone is stupid.
It's like if you include forms, it's like 300.
It's absurd.
I think. Something
And now-
crazy.
And now I'm just like imagining, okay, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4, but now we've got all
Super?
of Super, and they could probably even do like the Dragon Ball Heroes game that's absurdly popular. You could bring characters in from that.
Oh, Christ.
You
That
know,
would be insane.
There's the what's the other? Is it Dragon Ball Legends? The hand or the one that's on the phones app game.
Legends, yeah, I think.
Yeah, the guy and they have a new character there named Shallot. You know, like there's so many
Yeah,
other characters.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Like the roster could be buku high, and this is a game that had, you know, people complain sometimes about Dragon Ball Z games. Well, you play through the Dragon Ball story. You know, how many times are you going to play through it? Or blah blah blah. Right? Okay. You know, forget the story mode. The best part of that game was going into the 5-player multiplayer. Or I guess not 5 players, but you get five on your
Five characters,
team,
yeah.
and just going in, and the most fun we would ever have is randomizing, like hitting random on 5. So then you've got Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta going up against Chaozu, and it's just like
Yeah, and I love doing like I think we would do like the CPU battles. We'd have like the max level CPUs
Yes.
of team of random fives. Just who's gonna win? Who's gonna win?
and with the size of the roster, the way that it could be, like that would be even crazier.
Oh my gosh, yes, it would be.
Super, like God of Destruction Beerus going up against a Cyberman. It's like
Yeah, those Xenoverse games, they're fun, but and they've got decent combat, but it's just not Budokai Tenkaichi 3. It's just not.
so,
That game is too good. Yeah, and it's probably not gonna get a sequel as much as we
nah.
might want. But they could reboot at the very least the Tenkaichi or Budokai Tenkaichi, because I think they were all separate. There's the Dragon Ball Budokai games, and then there was the Dragon Ball Tenkaichi games, and then they made Budokai Tenkaichi. Is that right?
Tenkaichi. Yes, I think
Yeah,
so.
I think that's how it works.
And
So
then-
like you could reboot them.
Yeah. And then there was the worst one, which was Ultimate
Tenkaichi. That one had
Ugh.
so much promise, and then it ended up just being. I mean, I guess you could say button mashing. I mean, it didn't matter what you did; it was just the same thing every time.
It got boring fast. Yeah.
Boring fast. I will say some of their created character elements are slightly better than Xenoverse's. That's the only thing I'll give credit to for that game. But generally speaking, Xenoverse obviously is a better game. But yeah, Budokai Tenkaichi 4. God, that is a great pick. That really is a great pick.
Thank you. That's one that I thought you might have had too.
Hadn't even thought about it. There are some I could have, like, I love Simpsons Hit and Run. I could have booted that off for that, though. I definitely could have. All right, well, if that's it for you, I'll bring on to and this also, kind of like with the Oblivion thing. It's technically had a remaster or remake of some kind, but I will specify with wanting a sequel to this game, and that would be Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Red, Blue, or Yellow, I guess you could say. Yeah, I would want like a legit sequel, not like we've got like Fire Red and Leaf Green, and we were talking about the Let's Go games. We've gone back to Kanto before. We've played that adventure plenty of times. I want to go through Kanto again, but different. Like, I don't want to necessarily do the same story I've done every single time for the past 20 years. I want a fresh story in the Kanto, kind of like, maybe how Gold, Silver, Crystal, I think, takes place about 3 years after the events of Red, Blue, and Yellow. Do something like that. You could be a different character starting in Pallet Town, and it'd be nice to see maybe the gyms are different. You got different people heading up the gyms, like maybe Brock retired and one of Brock's younger brothers are the gym leader now. Just like little things like that. New story. It could be Team Rocket. It could be a different team. I just want an actual sequel to Red, Blue, Yellow. You probably already know this. I don't really care for Black and White 2. I don't think Black and White should have been the game to get a sequel. So I'm very adamant about like the Kanto games getting an actual 2 attached to it of some kind.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Kanto and not do the same thing I've already done 1,000 times. Yeah, Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, some sort of sequel to that would be nice.
Yeah, I think that would be cool too. I was going to say, I was going to say, would you want it to be like how Black and White has a Black and White 2?
Like, are you literally saying 2? Like,
yeah, like Red, Blue, Yellow 2.
You could call it whatever you want, because obviously you're not the same character, I believe, in Black and White 2 as you were in Black and White. You can call it whatever you want. I want to go back to Kanto and do something different. You kind of do that in Gold, Silver, Crystal, but like there's not really a story over there. Mm-hmm. So like for example, obviously in Gold, Silver, Crystal, you have like Janine replacing Koga. So like if we went through this game again, obviously we'd probably still see Janine, but maybe, like I said, maybe Brock's gone, maybe Misty's gone, maybe Blaine died from old age and somebody replaced him. I don't know, just something. And obviously, yeah, that's another thing. We could see like a new Cinnabar Island, because if you remember, Cinnabar Island got torched by the volcano in Gold, Silver, Crystal. So like he's in like Seafoam Islands doing his gym over there. So like we could see like a new Cinnabar Island. Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love more Kanto. I love Kanto. So yeah,
I think that's a good pick there. I think I've got one more for my 10th and final. I saved this one for last, just because I think it's probably a little more relevant to some of the other stuff that we talk about on the podcast. Also one that I thought maybe you would have put down. Mm-hmm. Now I will confess that this is a game that I maybe played twice, and not very often when I did. But I think there needs to be a remake or a sequel to, or just an entire reboot of the series. But Star Wars Bounty Hunters, where you play as Jango Fett.
Ooh, yeah. That would be a good one.
I think technically it's not a canon game anymore.
Probably not.
But I think with the extreme popularity of Mandalorian, with Book of Boba Fett being pretty big, albeit a little divisive.
He's no good to me,
among some people. Bounty Hunters in the Star Wars era is just like they're big now, right? And there's even been and I haven't read it yet, but there's been a really good, from what I've heard, comic run that's like the War of the Bounty Hunters. So like with as big as they are now, I feel like this would be a good time to capitalize. I also thought about, and it wouldn't have been technically it wouldn't have counted because it never even happened in the first place, but something kind of like the Star Wars 1313 that never happened.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
And you could do it. You could do it to where you play as Boba Fett, like in the original trilogy, right? Sort of like maybe like a post Clone Wars, pre Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Or you could do, you could play as Mandalorian. You could play as Din Djarin. Don't limit it to those two guys. Like, what if they did it to, where there's some Bosk levels, there's an IG-88 level, there's fucking stupid Dengar, you know.
Dash
like,
Rendar.
Yeah, like there's so many cool bounty hunters out there that I think you could make like a really cool Star Wars bounty hunters game.
Definitely. And aren't they supposed to like announce a Star Wars game eventually? Like
Was it
BioWare that said they're doing something? Maybe
I can't remember. There's the Star Wars. Is it Daylight or whatever? That's
Eclipse,
which is supposed to be a High Republic era. But recently they did say that they're working on. I think it's ransomware or randomware. Is working like with EA, I think, in conjunction there, and they're working on a Fallen Order sequel. They're working on 2 other Untitled games. One of them is supposed to be a first-person
shooter. Yeah, that's the thing I saw.
And then one of them is like a Star Wars strategy game.
Yeah.
And neither one of those really sound like Star Wars bounty hunters.
Yeah. I don't know. You could maybe do a first-person, but
I think a lot of the appeal of that one was being a third-person, fly around with the jetpack.
Yeah.
Use the cords to wrap people up. So.
I did actually play through that game kind of recently. I had a free thing of PlayStation Now, and it was on PlayStation Now. But like,
cool.
I don't know if maybe they mapped the controls weird, but like, it did not work very well for me while playing on a PS4 controller, at least. Like, and maybe this is also just because it's an older game, but like, there were like no real like instructions on what to do, and I got stuck very, very early on and did not know what to do. So I didn't play very much of it, but I remember our cousins having that, and that was a fun game.
It was fun. So yeah, I think that's a good pick. I think these are all good picks. I definitely get on board with all the ones that you had.
Yeah.
Definitely All Stars and Jet Force Gemini are 2 that like when you said them, I was like, oh damn, yeah, that's that's a really good one. So yeah, we had a couple matches there. We had a couple of ones that you know, in hindsight, maybe I would have put on my list too.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of figured we would have a good bit of crossover there.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was a fun little exercise there. Maybe we can do something like it again in the future if we ever need an extra prompt one day or something.
Yeah, something. We can figure out something, definitely.
When we come back next week, we'll talk about the season 3 debut of The Mandalorian, and then we'll talk about the Book of Boba Fett as well. So we got a couple of interesting things to talk about. I know Caleb's got a lot of feelings and thoughts about Mandalorian season 3 episode 1. So very, very excited to get that on the record permanently,
forever.
So, well, anything else, Caleb? Anything else coming to mind here?
No. Bailey, do you have anything?
Cool.
Okay. All right. Well, no, I'm good. Me and Bailey are good.
Yeah, thanks, Bailey. You were really a lot of help in this one. So hopefully you can contribute a little bit more next time.
A little bit more than cool.
Cool. Well, we'll see you around. Mando, Solo 2.